Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the greatest channel on YouTube. Guys, appreciate the support. Appreciate everybody who liked 2024 10-8, whatever the video was yesterday. Sorry for that. Basically, my YouTube mobile app, when I was putting the title out, it just didn't load or, save the title. So, I'm sorry about that. I updated the title, and real ones who saw that, appreciate it. Guys, hope you enjoy the content on the channel. We have an insane situation today. I can't even, when I'm reading through this, I can't even understand how a human being decides that this is okay in any way, shape, or format. So, probably one of the saddest things I have seen just generally, honestly, in my life or heard of. So we're going to kind of deep dive it, explain the situation today because it's catching a lot of people's attention. You may not have heard about it. So hashtag United. It's a bit about hashtag United. It's about a specific player, who I believe played at hashtag United or a manager. I can't believe which one he is. He is a former player and a reserve team manager. His name is Kiernan Hughes Mason. I've never heard of him. He's been found guilty of crimes that are frankly sickening. So hashtag United put out a statement about this, and basically the crimes are so bad that they don't even talk about it in here. That's how bad it is, and it is that bad. There's a news article that we're going to go through. Firstly, everyone associated with the club would like to offer our deepest sympathy to the victim and their family. We can't possibly imagine what they have been going through since these horrific events took place. We can categorically say that the club had no knowledge whatsoever of these events until today. We are told that the crimes he has now been found guilty of occurred before he even joined us. Some serious flaws have been exposed in procedures as we'd received confirmation from the relevant authorities that he was clear to coach as part of standard background checks. Our club has absolute zero tolerance policy on behavior even closely relating to this. Our values are centered around positivity, inclusivity, and above all else, creating a safe place for all. We reiterate our heartfelt sympathy for what the victim and their family have had to go through, and would like to remind anyone reading this of some resources that are available should you need them. So, in my opinion, the club statement from hashtag United, it couldn't have been said any better. There's nothing here. Sometimes these companies, corporate, and even people drop statements that you just can't even believe what you read. But this is, I think this is a very good statement in the way that it conveys a point that they have zero tolerance. They had zero knowledge, without kind of going too into detail here, and basically just saying, what the hell, man? What the hell? So in terms of this statement, I think from hashtag United, but now to explain the situation, to you guys watching the video wondering what the hell even happened. Who is this guy? So basically, there's an article posted here. Footballer Kiernan Hughes Mason left toddler with brain damage after violent assault in Essex. Now, I read that headline because I saw the hashtag United statement today, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay, so what was so bad that they couldn't write? And then I go watch this headline. Guys, I can't even sit here and understand how we share planet Earth with people in the mind that believe that this is okay. And once we go through this article, you guys are not even going to believe it because there's leaked texts, leaked messages. It's unbelievable. A non-league footballer who beat a 2-year-old child so badly, doctors compared her injuries to those of a high-speed crash victim, has been found guilty of child cruelty. I mean, this is genuinely one of the saddest stories I have seen. Kiernan Hughes Mason left a girl with life-changing brain injuries and in need of round-the-clock care following the attack in Westcliff in January 2020. At Crown Court, where Hughes Mason was convicted of grievous bodily harm and child cruelty after a 3-week trial, prosecutors said the injuries were similar to those inflicted by a fall from several stories. So, look, there's no tolerance for any abuse, in my opinion, anywhere. I mean, there's losers in the world that beat their dog. You see all these stories. We even talked yesterday about how Mason Greenwood's beating up his girlfriend. There's no excuse for any of this. I don't understand how people see violence or any, and this is even a step worse than violence. This isn't even getting in a pub fight, with another guy because one dude said he likes Arsenal, and one dude says he likes Tottenham, and it's time for a scrap. This is disgusting. I mean, come on, man. And there's zero tolerance anywhere, but this is the worst form possible. Beating a toddler? Because of what? Because you were angry at the kid? So you start beating up the kid? And not only is he beating up the kid, he's beating up the kid so bad that the doctors are examining this, saying that it looks like the kid fell from several stories or was in a high-speed car accident. That's how much the kid was beat up. I mean, it's one of the most cruel things I've ever seen. During a 15-year career, he started off at Millwall and later played for the social media team #United, and he was a manager. He called paramedics while looking after his ex-partner's daughter. And it's like, you break this down in a psychoanalysis, like his ex-partner's daughter, right? I mean, he claimed at first that he had been downstairs when he heard a bang from her bedroom and believed she had fallen on a dollhouse, leaving her conscious but unresponsive. Paramedics took her to the hospital, and she was put into an induced coma and then taken on to Great Ormond Street Hospital. Doctors found 17 different injuries to her legs, back, face, and chest, which are thought to have been inflicted between October 2019 and January 2020. 17 injuries. This fucking loser beat up a child with 17 different injuries over the course of 4 months. Dude, what a pathetic loser and scum of a human this guy is. This guy deserves to be away forever. She remained in a coma for 14 days and suffered life-changing brain injuries, which means she needs a 24-hour care. Hughes Mason was arrested on February 14, 2020. During the investigation, officers found on Hughes Mason's phone messages sent to friends in which he described how angry caring for the girl made him, including telling one person, "She's actually getting on my nerves and I'm gonna hit her." It's a 2-year-old toddler. I mean, it's unbelievably concerning. From 2022 to 2020, from 2020 to 2022, he played for #United. After leaving that club, he made only a handful of appearances for the likes of Walden Town and Tower Hamlets, but before becoming a player manager, he was appointed Enfield Borough FC manager at the end of last season, position from which he has now been sacked following his conviction. In closing speeches, the prosecution barrister said, "The experts are all unanimously of the view that the child's devastating head and brain injuries could not have been caused accidentally while she was alone in her room." And look, these are the people you would trust, right? Examining the situation. Hughes Mason was keen from the outset to portray himself to the police as the doting stepfather who treated the children as his own, saying how much he loved them. Yet in his text messages written all the time, he constantly referred to them as your children or your child to the child's mother. He regularly belittled them, talked about them as if they were stupid, and put them down. In respect of the head and brain injury that the child suffered, the experts all agree that the pattern of injuries found is consistent with the child having been vigorously shaken, with her head likely being hit against a hard surface. The only explanation for the pattern of injuries suffered by the child was that they were inflicted by this defendant and inflicted deliberately. This guy's an asshole. This guy belongs away forever. I can't believe that we share planet Earth with people that decide in any way, shape, or form. I mean, because at some point, right? At some point, this guy, Hughes Mason, must have sat there and told himself that this behavior was okay. In order for him to do this, he must have somehow personally justified this, that it was okay to hit a 2-year-old toddler, man. This poor little girl, bro. I mean, I have not really read. I mean, you hear stuff about these psychos like serial killers. I mean, I'm watching a show, Mindhunters, right now. It's crazy. Anyone that's seen that on Netflix, it's a crazy show. But I mean, this is what we're dealing with here, man. Someone that thinks this is okay. And what it's his defense here is that it's out of spite, that it's not his child, it's the ex-partner's child. Following Hughes Mason's conviction, the victim's family said, "We finally have a verdict, and that man is now held accountable for what he did to our little girl. We have had to go through what no family should ever have to experience." I mean, this is saying it lightly. No one should ever have to experience this. Nobody deserves this. No one deserves this. And our girl is going to bear the consequences of what he has done to her for the rest of his life, for her life. The child abuse investigation team said this conviction is important. Hughes Mason denied responsibility for all the child's injuries, pointing the finger at others or blaming them on accidents. This little girl will never recover from the injuries she sustained from this violent attack. The doctors were clear about the extent of the injuries. They were equivalent to high-speed crash would have been the result of a violent assault. He'll be sentenced on... So he's going to be sentenced on September 10th. I mean, this guy, there's no world, man, where this guy deserves the worst treatment possible. I mean, this is the most sickening crime thing you could do, in my opinion. I mean, the poor girl is never going to be the same. I mean, they're not even saying she's never going to be the same mentally. Could you imagine in your upbringing, if you grew up in a situation like that, right? And what they're saying is that she's never going to be the same because of her injuries. I mean, beyond a sad and beyond a messed up situation. You know, this is one of the toughest things I've seen, because I'm like, I just don't personally understand how anyone could justify this behavior. What a scumbag. What an asshole. I don't know, man. Get in the comments, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this situation. I mean, oh my goodness, man. I mean, look, you guys know me. Like, I'm not really a person that gets on these channels and gets too political or anything like that. And look, for me, I'm seeing this situation and I'm just like, what an absolute asshole. Just calling it how it is. I mean, I feel like that's what I do in my career. What I've done over the years on all my channels is just calling it how it is. Whatever the situation was, this guy makes me sick, man. Sick to my stomach. You know, all we can do is pray, you know, for the victim's family going forward. What a horrible situation. Yeah, get in the comments, guys. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll see you for another video soon. Goodness.